Hey everybody, Swonic here, and today we're taking a look at champion teams. As we all know, Pokemon League champions are the final bosses of the games. Well, mostly. Therefore, their team should be the hardest to beat in the entire campaign. But unfortunately, not every champion fits that bill. Sometimes their teams aren't really built right, other times they claim to specialize in a specific type only for us to find out that is a complete lie. I'm here to fix that. These are the champions that I think have bad teams and how I would fix them. First, we have Lance. My first grievance with this team is that he claims to be a Dragon type specialist, only to find out that the only Dragon types in his team are 3 Dragonites. And that's another thing I hate about his team. He has 3 Dragonites. That's boring and repetitive. And 2 of them are illegally underleveled. Gens 1 and 2 only have 2 fully evolved Dragon types, and that's Dragonite and Kingdra. Maybe they could have made it more Dragon types, but nah, let's just stick with these 2. I'm gonna be working with very limited resources with this team. If I were to fix Lance's team, I would have given him Kingdra, Gyarados, Aerodactyl, Charizard, Tyranitar, and Dragonite. Kingdra because, as I said, is the only other Dragon type available left in Gen 2. And Tyranitar because Lance has one in Pokemon Stadium 2. I guess the Pokemon world considers it draconic somehow. And besides, it's based off Godzilla, a giant lizard, and the armadillo-girdled lizard. Red's next, and can we please act serious just for one moment? Stop being blinded by nostalgia. Can we please stop jerking Red off? Because can we all admit that his team sucks? It sucks, okay? All this team is just a bunch of Easter eggs. Hey, remember that Pikachu from the anime? Hey, do you remember that Eevee got from Soundfront City? Hey, remember that Snorlax with the Pokeflute? Hey, remember that Lapras from Silco? Hey, remember your starters? That's all the team ever is, just a bunch of nostalgia references thrown back at you. There was no thought or strategy put into this team whatsoever. At least his Let's Go team was built infinitely better. The next champion that I think needs fixing is Steven. He claims to specialize in steel types, but only half his team is steel. The whole index has other steel types he could have used, but for some reason he didn't. For his team, I give him Skarmory, Mawile, Probopass, Magnezone, Aggron, and Mega Metagross. Next up is Alder. Kinda. His BW1 team is pretty underwhelming, especially for a post-game final boss. I mean, a Vanillux and a Druddigon? Really? At least his BW2 team is a massive improvement. I just wish that this is the team that he should have used in BW1. Next is Iris. Oh look! Another person who claims to be a Dragon type specialist but never actually has a full team of dragons. Have you ever met someone who said that they were Dragon type specialists and actually mean it? Anyway, I would give her a full team of dragons, but unfortunately the BW2 Pokédex only has 5 fully evolved Dragon types, not counting the legendaries. And they are Druddigon, Altaria, Flygon, Haxorus, and Hydreigon. I could fill up that free slot with Aggron to give her coverage against Ice and Fairy types. For having Aggron kinda sounds like they planned a Fairy type all along. I'm probably overthinking it. Anyway, the reason why I made Hydreigon her ace is because in BW1, she and Drayden are basically the same person. Same team, same type specialization, same ace Pokemon. I wanted to make her different to Drayden somehow. Next on the list is Diantha. I mean, we've all played X and Y. That game was unfortunately easy. Has anyone ever lost to Diantha? I'm not seeing any Diantha flashback memes. Anyway, the team I would have given her is Nidoqueen because, well, look at her. Beautiful, successful actress, Pokemon League champion. You can't look at her and say, that's not a queen right there. Starmie because she is a movie star, plus it's OU. Somehow it must be good. Gourgeist, gorgeous because she accentuates her beauty, Goodra, and Mega Gardevoir. Up next is Mustard. According to his league card, Mustard was once a gym leader who specialized in fighting types, who eventually won his way up to the champion title. But of course, like most champions who claim to specialize in a type, it's not true. Only half his team is fighting. I would have given him Heracross, Gallade, Conkeldurr, Mienshao, Kommo-o, and Urshifu. Depending on which scroll you choose, of course. Peony's next. Although I applaud her for being a Steel-type specialist, and mean it this time, it irks me that he only has 5 Pokemon. No champion should have missing slots on their team. Although, if he did actually become champion with only 5 Pokemon, then I'll admit, I'm a little impressed. The team I would have given him is Aggron, Berserker, Scizor, Copperajah, Metagross, and Gigantamax Corviknight. Why Metagross? Well, it's better than a Bronzong. Ask anyone. Metagross is more befitting of a champion. And the reason why I made his Corviknight his new ace is because Rose already has a Gigantamax Copperajah. I had to make it different somehow. Plus, it made sense. Peony was sick of being compared to Rose, that he ran away from home to try and make himself his own man, to finally separate himself from Rose. I thought that him having the same ace as Rose wasn't helping that. Although, he does specialize in Steel type like Rose. I don't have an explanation for that. But Gigantamax is his Corviknight, yeah, but his ace is more a starter in Zacian and Zamazenta. Plus, he later changes his Gigantamax to his starters anyway. Now we've got Nemona. I wouldn't call her team bad, more mediocre. Would you really call this a champion level team? I mean, she surpassed the Pokemon League before you. You'd think she'd have a better team. Now this is a team befitting of a champion. Mudsdale, Gudra, Blissey, Goldengo, Palmont, and her starters, Skeledirge, Quaquaval, and Meowscarada. Her starters Terra type would be their secondary types, Fighting, Dark, and Ghost. What I love about the Paldea starters is that their secondary type gives them an advantage over their weaknesses. Now that is a rivalry. Each starter has a type advantage over each other, either one of them could win. Meowscarada's grass typing may be weak to Skeledirge's fire, but Meowscarada's dark type is super effective against Skeledirge's ghost. Quaquaval's water type is weak to Meowscarada's grass, but Quaquaval's fighting type is super effective against Meowscarada's dark. Skeledirge's fire is weak to Quaquaval's water, but unfortunately, Skeledirge's ghost is immune to Quaquaval's fighting. Which is cool, I guess, but that's not exactly fair if you ask me. And finally, Geeta. Of course she's here. We can all agree that she sucks. She sucks even more than Diantha, something that was long thought impossible until today. Worst champion ever. If anyone deserves a team makeover, it's Geeta. Who uses a setup mod last? Unless you're an idiot. The team I would have given her is Palafin, Glimmora, Espathra, Breloom, Salamence, and Kingambit. What they could do is program her to always make Palafin use Flip Turn first, and then switch to Glimmora, making the player accidentally activate Toxic Debris, assuming they use a physical move, and then have Glimmora use Stealth Rock next, and then she can do whatever the muck she wants. Switching Palafin would also introduce the players to Palafin's new gimmick, which would have given them a surprise later on. Kingambit should have been her last ace Pokemon. Its ability, Supreme Overlord, gives Kingambit a power boost depending on how many teammates have fainted. Having Kingambit last, with 5 fainted team members, Geeta would have had the maximum possible power boost from Supreme Overlord, but nah. Whoever is in charge of the game's team lineups, they suck at their job. Fire them! Anyway, the reason why I gave Kingambit Terra Flying is because it needs to defend from fighting types, which it is 4 types weak to. But Geeta decided to look like a Glimmora. Oh really? Fantina is dressed up like a Drifloon. Her ace is Miss Magius. Clara's headbands look like Dustox wings. She doesn't have a Dustox. Iono's hair clips look like Magdemites. Doesn't have one. Terrell, Marina, Dusty. You get the gist. And that's all the champions that I think need fixing. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Or we can discuss them together in my Discord channel in the description below. Alright, see ya!